Hey there, Tone Chasers, I'm Robert, and welcome back to another episode of Tone Chase Basement. Today here at 42 Gear Street at 42 Studios, and welcome here Charlie Cooper from Orange Amps. So welcome, Charlie. Today we are checking out their pedals, one amp in a box pedal, the Getaway Driver, and another fuzz pedal, which is an octave fuzz. And what's the name of the pedal?
The orange Fur Coat Fuzz.
Fur Coat Fuzz, yeah.
Fur Coat, yeah.
Nice. And we will try them out through the Orange Oriverb 50 MK3 version. So that's the latest one, I suppose. So before we start with it, Charlie, you as a core Oranger, how would you define the orange sound? What's the orange sound?
The first two albums of AC/DC.
That's it. Everything said. Everything said.
It's like a British crunch. We kind of like nailed it in the 70s, but it's very varied. You can do it's like if you think of like Fleetwood Mac, early Fleetwood Mac blues. You can do that. Kind of like technical metal, doom, rock. We've got like a very varied sound, but all of them have that quintessential British crunch in it.
Yeah, so there's some kind of grit texture on those orange amps.
Yeah, and something unique is happening around the mids as well. So we kind of when Adrian designs all of our amplifiers. So when he's designing them, he's always referring back to like our original 1970s picks only amplifier. So like the idea of like the orange sound, it also. When we talk about the orange sound, also we're not really talking about the color of the amps, but I mean the orange sound is its thing, but also orange.
Orange is a vivid color, and
yeah.
You know, you've seen legendary bands playing orange amps throughout history, and I know what you mean. There is something happening in the mids. There is something. Is it a secret?
I think it's just how Adrian designs them. Really, kind of we kind of just got this crunch. I mean, the story of the finding the tone was my dad like founded the company in like the very early in 1968 as a shop, and then later on he started doing amplifiers. And what ended up happening was you had loads of musicians come into the shop, and then my dad was like, okay, let's create a recording studio downstairs. And then in the late 60s, people were trying to find new tones and new sounds. So they'd be EQing their guitar track after the recording. So then it kind of made sense to be, okay, well, let's kind of like cater and kind of make something around these sounds. So as much as Orange has our sound was also defined by all these musicians in the early 70s. Yeah. So when a new amplifier comes back, we're always looking back to those early amps.
But there's definitely some kind of evolvement, like the sound evolved during time.
The sound has evolved, but it's about making the sound also more versatile, catering to like different audiences. So like the lunchbox amplifiers, so it's you can easily get to a pub and just have the tone of the night by essentially like stealing or borrowing the cab from the other bands, or just getting on cheaper European flights and just being able to have something with you. And so over time, over like decades, we've just been making orange amps that bring different parts of the tone for different audiences.
Because back in history, you've seen orange amps for like rock and hard rock bands, but nowadays orange amps are more common on metal stages. So
I think like it's that could also be like. You see a lot of orange amps, like a lot of blues musicians still use them.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
I encourage anyone listening to check out like Orianthe. A lot of her tone is like she does like heavy rock, and she does blues as well. And she just sounds phenomenal. She uses like a orange Oriverb, which we'll be playing through today. And actually, we have a orange Oriverb signature, so it's called the Oriverb. So she was like, I want you guys to push the mids even more and actually make it a bit lighter. So we did that.
So you do this kind of personalized stuff for, the clientele?
Yeah, essentially what usually happens is someone's already using orange and they're like, you know what, I don't want to change it up too much because I love what I've got.
But still would like to fine tune it.
Yeah, I'd like to make it a bit more personal to me. And so that's kind of what we do. And Oh, so like Marcus King is such a phenomenal player, and he's got he would use the Oriverb, the 8030. So he said, oh, he wants to have his own signature amplifier. So actually, our first ever USA amplifier is the Marcus King, and so yeah, this in the 70s as well. It was all these blues, and to be fair, a lot of metal kind of like evolved from that in its own way as well. Like, so. I guess it's like no wrong answer. I wouldn't pigeonhole us into any one genre.
Yeah, great. And that's the versatility that always has been present with Orange amps. All right, so we're checking out some clean tones on the Orange Oriverb. So that is what we are using for our bass tone to try out these pedals. So okay, just let's hear the clean tone. Clean, big headroom kind of thing, so very sparkly,
Yeah.
Great thing to, for a pedal platform. So the Getaway Driver is an amp in a box.
Yeah.
As I can see, there are 3 knobs. I like 3 knob pedals. That's the most simple and most effective way to do it. So volume, gain, byte is like a presence tone kind of thing, I suppose.
Yeah. So the byte is the tone control, and the actual pedal. Keep in mind, like it's a. I always like saying Jifec now because
Jifet.
I've been watching Colin's videos so much, it's like rubbed off onto me. So, and it's also Class A, and keep in mind, like it's designed like an amplifier because it's Adrian who designs this stuff. So he's designing the Oriverb, he's designing the pedals, and he's got the same kind of ethos when it comes to doing this stuff.
Let's hear it. Yeah. I'm going to lower the gain a little bit,
It's like
approximately around
amp in a box. Yeah.
Yeah, and even with pretty low gain around 10 o'clock, it's got that crunch already.
Yeah.
It's defined. It's got that amp-like, I'm not saying boxy, but that wooden concrete sound.
It's that 70s British tone. You see, it's not metal, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It can do it when you push it. It's the versatility of this.
So it's kind of a preamp which you can use in front of a clean channel of an amp. But what about if you plug it in directly into the power amp?
I mean, look, there's no wrong or right way how to use pedals. It's all about musicians kind of finding out new ways and interesting ways to do something. Because, I mean, you could do that; it would work fine. But the way we've got it set up right now is just going straight into the amp.
Yeah, of course. So it would, in a way, it might work as well. So if you want if you don't play through an Orange amp, for example, but you can use the power amp of your own amp and use that to get that Orange kind of sound. Yeah,
like if you had let's say you had like a clean Fender and you added this is going to add an Orange crunch to your Fender. Or if you have if you have a Vox or any other of those cool amps.
Okay, let's raise the gain to about 2 o'clock and let's see what happens. Yeah, it's a bit noisy because of the pickups, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because single coils, but let's just...
Well, hey, how about we switch out the guitar and you actually see
let's
changes. Do you want to get the Ibanez?
Please.
It looks beautiful. I heard it before. Oh, it's beautiful. But I'm also a sucker for purple guitars.
Yeah, they are nice. That's why you're wearing a purple shirt.
Oh, always. All of my t-shirts are just variations of cat t-shirts.
Yeah. That sounds really heavy.
Yeah.
And really massive. If we turn the byte a little bit up more. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It definitely sounds like a tube amp.
Yeah.
So it's got that character, it's got that massiveness, it doesn't sound like a pedal.
No.
That's true. So what you said in the beginning, that Adrian, who makes the amps, makes a pedal like an amp.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I never tried these orange pedals before, so I'm completely new to them. And first impression is that, yeah, they're
It's a box
acting
of
great.
fun.
Yeah.
There's little subtle things he does. Like it's really helpful having the. He's got a analog. It's all analog, of course, and there's a cab sim coming out there as well. So like, let's say your amp goes down, you can literally just. It's convenient to be able to just plug straight into the DI, like front of house, and then you got your tone back, right?
Definitely.
Or let's say you're practicing, you can just plug your headphones in, and you're practicing on the coach on the way to the gig. It's just it's just a really convenient amplifier, and it being analog, it just doesn't need to have like any digital processing. It just sounds natural and musical, and that's what we're hearing here.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the sound.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm enjoying the playing. Oh, that sounds good.
Real fun, real fun. Okay, and then, so we just switched the pedal to the Fur Coat Fuzz, vintage fuzz. And it's an octave fuzz, as I can see correctly.
Yeah, it's like vintage voiced, and it just sounds gnarly.
Okay, so let's turn it on.
You've got a dial for the octaves, so now that you clicked it on, now you can bring it up.
Alright, so there are 4 knobs.
Yeah.
Fuzz, EQ, volume and octave. Alright, let's see the octave. So it's an octave up.
Yeah. See, the light turns purple, so give it a push there.
Alright.
Oh, might be hard to. Oh, there it is. I can see it a bit. So it's off
blue
now.
and
Now it's
purple.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It's hard to see on the camera from that angle.
Oh, that's nasty. You can hear it how... Alright, it's the same classic fuzz. That's really good. Turn the octave off. It sounds really nice. I'm impressed. To be honest, I like the Getaway Driver a bit more.
Yeah.
That's more my kind of cup of tea.
Yeah, gotcha.
But octave fuzzes is not something that I generally play a lot, but this one definitely, if I would sit down and play a little bit more with it,
Yeah.
it has to be fun. So.
It's one of those things you just need to you just experiment, and as you play with the pedal, it just kind of inspires you just to come up with like new riffs and new melodies.
Yeah, exactly. You can venture into a complete new territory that you're not familiar in currently. But if you find out and find yourself comfortable with it, then it can be do magic.
Yeah.
And of course, this works into a dirty amp as well and get those kind of more vintage kind of.
So we do that. It's on the clean right now, so let's dirty it up. Let's add some filth on top of filth.
Okay, so we changed the channels on the Oriverb, so now we're on the dirty channel, and let's see how the Octave Fuzz works with a dirty amp as well. So this is now the amp sound only. Turn it on. Oh yeah.
See?
I like it better that way.
Yeah.
I like it definitely.
There
It's much more fun. Much more fun. Yeah, amazing.
Do you want to switch it out for the different
Alright.
pickups? This will be interesting. Alright, there you go, sir.
So, single coils. And of course, I have to mention that these Oriverb amps on their own, they are just amazing amps.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you to Summer Cable for providing us really great cables at Gear Street. So, let's see with single coils. Yeah, it's the amp only now. You can already hear because of the single coils. It's thinner and bitier. Let's just see how the octave. Fuzz with a dirty amp, it eats out and get that violin-like tones, and amazing. I was always impressed by Orange and Orange amps, and it's really nice to have you people here to get to know you, and
Thanks.
thank you very much for being here, and it was a real pleasure to get to know you these last couple of days at Gear Street, and I've been always impressed by Orange amps during my playing career, and it's just so nice to get to know the real people from Orange and not some representatives, but the real Orange family to be here.
Oh dude, it's so fun to come here. Like I mean, from London it's just like it's barely like a 2-hour flight. I don't need to feel jet lagged when I fly into the States. I love coming to Gear Street. It's just such a laugh.
Amazing. So, thank you very much for your attention, Charlie. Thank you very much for being here.
Appreciate it.
And see you next time.
Take care.